Virgo, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your November reading, and I have wonderful, beautiful energy to talk about this month with you. Now, it's funny. I see a lot of energy in challenge, but I like energy in challenge in this situation because we have a lot of really positive energy wanting to turn energy sources around in our lives that are not completely aligned with what we should be doing in life. So let's start this off. So on the 2nd, Mercury is going to be in Scorpio. It's going to be in Scorpio and it's going to be conjunct the sun in Scorpio. Now on the 2nd, Venus in Virgo aligns with Mars in Virgo, and this is happening in your 1st house. So you have a lot of questions about, I feel, defining exactly what you want. You feel, to me, the most challenge in the fact of aligning your outcome with your desires. So big decision month, big energy changing month for you, time of figuring things out. You may have been procrastinating, making certain decisions over the past few months because you've been in pretty much survival mode like most people have with all of this super intense energy. But I think now it's about stabilizing outcomes, and you are really, really, really looking at the big picture of your life. What does it take for you to be happy, sustained, stable? What kind of outcomes do you want? What kind of stands do you need to make? How do you want to walk along this journey and get what you want? What kind of new ideas, new innovative ways and approaches can you come up with to change your life? You are all about making powerful changes. You've had a lot of energy piping into you, like Jupiter and Mars and Venus have all been sitting in Virgo energy, asking you in Virgo energy to change your outcome. Right? Stop being mutable clay. Stop going along with everybody's poor coping methods. Stop identifying yourself just at work. And it's about heart, soul, deep desires. What do you want? It's about asking you those big, hard questions. Now, here's the kicker. Before, when we used to ask ourselves that questions, those questions were super overwhelming, and often we don't even want to face those questions because those questions were usually followed by disappointing outcomes in your past. And then you would look at your past and you would think, oh, I don't deserve these interesting outcomes. And so I think what you are going to find is that it's a good time to ask these questions because you will get very good answers. And that's the key. Timing is everything in the universe. Energy is everything. So you don't do certain things when energy is in low vibrations, and you do things when energy is in high vibrations. Information is crucial. Sagittarius and Mercury energy sitting in either Sagittarius or in Scorpio is going to be aligning what you deeply desire, you want on an innermost personal level. If you won the lottery tomorrow and you could buy anything you want and get what you deeply desire, that's probably going to be a whole lot different than the practical approach you take on making steps forward, because you're very logical and very realistic in your expectations of energy. But I think this is about, can you please stop doing that? Stop being so conservative and so realistic that you often miss new innovative ideas and broadened approach to outcomes. So you have to be open to a new way of thinking, and it can't always be based on reality. And I'm so happy to tell you why. It's like one of the sweetest energies I see. I'm personally excited about because I dig a little bit. In fact, let's face it, I love fantasy, and I love living in a world that sometimes I don't live in, because to me it makes the world sweeter. And we have some cool news to talk about. So on the 8th, Venus moves into Libra. Yay! No more is Venus sitting in Virgo asking lots of tough questions about relationships and critically analyzing, and are they happy, and what kind of outcome do you want, and what kind of partner do you want? And you have been in analysis paralysis, I think, last month. I love that saying. It's like one of my most favorite sayings, especially when it comes to Virgos and Geminis, because those people can sit there and ponder, and then they don't make any fracking decision because they're too busy pondering every possible scenario. And for you, that has been extremely, that has been the situation for you last month. So Mercury in Scorpio, of course, is conjunct with the Sun in Scorpio. Of course, this is a sextiling Pluto in Capricorn. Personal power. This is about having the guts enough to ask yourself these sweet questions, these enlightening questions. This is about not being fearful of asking these questions. That's when Chiron and Neptune is going to do their jig in this month. So you'll see what I'm talking about. So on the 11th, we have a new moon in Scorpio, water-based moon, deep desires. This new moon is a big change is coming in a Virgo's life. But it's like new outcomes, progressing family situations, progressing a new beginning, progressing. You've been working really hard for something, so it's about time to see that paying off. And you've been balancing, you've been juggling a lot of balls, you've been just so lost in all this analysis paralysis that I think now it all makes sense. This month starts to make everything make sense. So the new moon in Scorpio is going to be conjunct with Mercury in Scorpio. So this is about seeing the truth, not being fearful, being fearless. This is about not being negative, but being critical. This is about emotionally aligning with some of the choices that you need to make. Sometimes adding an emotional momentum is the momentum that we need to make some forward movement. This is about a strong desire to be competitive enough to make you want to win. You want all of this stuff. This is about enough passion and enough momentum to make you want to make some of these changes that you were going to have to make whether you want to or not. And then on the 12th, we have Mars moves into Libra. This is all going to be happening in your second house. So for you, the second house is you're going to be thinking about what you value. Right? It's about honestly, if you won the lottery, like, would you move up in the world? Would you move to a different place? Would you seek partnerships, different partnerships? Do you want different things now? And if you do want different things, what things do you want to use as goals? It's about asking yourself all of this, but it's about aligning intuitively and listening to your gut and your soul guide you. This is about being guided by water energy, and we're all going to experience some sort of higher awareness. It's like we get a little voice telling us, hey, do this, or think about this, or do that. We're going to be inundated with information, not from sources of information, from deep within, right? And this is about taking a look at all of our hard work, seeing what paid off, what didn't, and then it's about starting anew, starting new beginnings. This is all new beginning energy as far as I'm concerned moving forward. Then on the 16th, we have the Sun in Scorpio aligns with Mercury in Scorpio. All that's going to be happening in your third house. So Mercury in Scorpio is also going to be conjuncting the Sun in Scorpio. Scorpio. Lots of Scorpio energy. So this is about transformation, regeneration, new beginnings. This is about rebirth of old ideals. This is about a passionate understanding of what you want at this time. This is about being very ambitious, goal-oriented. You're going to have a strong, deep desire to make a commitment to making some of these outcomes come true. Maybe you have had a strong commitment to maybe going to school, and now you're getting to the point where school is ending, and you get to go out there and you get to make that education pay off, because you've been working so hard on it. For many of you, for some of you, this has just happened the internal strength enough to see all of these challenging endeavors as opportunities and not as something that you have to survive and that will break you down and break down your will to make you, it's not about ego. This isn't about ego. This is about getting what you deeply and truly desire and you deserve in this energy. Okay, so here's what I love. On the 18th, we have Neptune goes direct. Yay, yay, yay. This is fantasy, hope, dreams, wants. This is about seeing the future. And of course, it takes a while for a planet to, after it's been in retrograde this long, to really get sped up and give us the fruits of all of its beautiful energy, but you're hopeful. And hope is the only thing you need to get through anything. Deep hope can really, truly be the solution to every problem that we have. Even if hope is based on non-reality and fantasy of an outcome, it's still hope. When I lose hope, I lose the will. And damn, when you lose the will, that is the worst effing feeling in the entire world. You don't ever want to lose will. And so we're starting to get hopeful. We're starting to look at new outcomes. We're starting to see new possibilities. And that is so deeply lovely. So then we have, on the 20th, we have Mercury moves into Sagittarius. This is going to be all about attaching ideas with outcomes. This is about envisioning an outcome that is sunny and is enlightening and puts the fire back into your life. This is about you know you deserve to be happy. You know you deserve fun. This is about freedom from the past. Shackles have been released. This is about moving forward. I love this energy. I truly, deeply do. Then on the 24th, on the 23rd, we have the sun. Oh, wait a minute. We have the sun moves in to Sagittarius. And the sun, when the sun moves into Sagittarius, that is, it opens you up and broadens your perspective and gives you ideas that are intuitive and a deep burning desire to change an outcome. And when you do that, then you start to research and you start to take a look at things, and that starts to open up your perspectives and broaden your perspectives. And Saturn in here this whole time is just delish. It's all conjuncting all of this energy. And Saturn is not in a bad mood. So this isn't karmic hell, right? When Saturn moved into Sagittarius, it was about gaining control over outcomes by broadening your perspectives, by not being so controlled and regimented in a limiting mental status, right? It's about opening yourself up and unleashing new parts of your perspective that then creates opportunities you would have never, ever thought of before this transit happened. So it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Then on the 24th, we have Mercury in Sagittarius. It aligns with Saturn in Sagittarius. This is all happening in your 4th house, spending a lot of time in your 4th house. Now, on the 18th, we had, when Neptune went direct, Chiron was conjunct that event. And so I want to say that there's a family, there's a home and family situation, or perhaps a limiting belief system attached to your childhood or the way that you grew up that has really hindered you from a healthy form of expressive movement moving forward. Like, I think that there was a place that you kept deep within where you did not feel worthy of fulfillment. And so therefore you didn't pursue the things that inevitably would get you to a future outcome. So we're releasing all of that. We're letting go of all of that. Lots of inner work on the root and the heart of the matter. And this is going to open you up for emotional fulfillment. So perhaps some of you, because of the way that you grew up, Virgo energy is often such a servant-oriented energy. They forget about to fill their own cup, right? To take care of themselves. They're so busy taking care of everybody else. And so this energy, especially when we had Jupiter and Mars and we had Venus in here, all working together, asking those tough questions of Virgo. Are you in alignment? Is your coping methods fine? Are you hiding? Are you being more of a servant to others than to yourself? Where are you deficient? Like there's been a lot of questions. So I like that when all the energy moves into Sagittarius, it releases us from the emotional intensity and we get back to the logic-based thinking, the elevated thinking, and we see everything from such an enlightened perspective, in such an area of clarity that I don't think that we had before this particular event. So then on the 20th, I'm happy to say we have a full moon. So we've had a lot of energy asking us all kinds of big questions. And it's been opening you up, and perspectives have been changing, and maybe you have a new approach to doing things. It's unlocking new ideas. It's putting the passion back into some of the things that go straight to the heart of the matter, not so much from a materialistic, monetary point of view. In fact, I see, really honestly, you have been working so hard, and all your life, all you do is work for everybody else, serve everybody else. There's been no gain. And so now it's about taking a look at how you can feel fulfilled emotionally. And this isn't a question that you ask yourself a whole lot because you're so busy serving everybody else's needs that you forget to take a look at what your needs are. And I think that that's going to be emphasized during this entire month. And then what happens is the energy gets up to a combustible point and an accumulative energy. You've gathered all the facts, you've broadened your perspective, you took a look at everything. There's new ideas, there's new hope, there's desire, there's Chiron and healing everything. And then bam, we have this full moon in Gemini. And it really asks us to take a look at it. It's how can we apply all this to our day-to-day thinking, right? Gemini energy is often, it's ruled by Mercury, and that part of Mercury is when it's in Gemini energy, it's sitting there asking us about changing our day-to-day thinking, right? How we move forward on a day-to-day level. Do we get filled up every day energetically? Are we aligned with our desires, our hopes, our dreams, our wishes, are what we deeply want? So this full moon is in our 10th house. Career, life path, destiny. You're changing outcomes. This isn't an outcome based on getting ahead to please other people. This is about aligning yourself with what you deeply desire, what your purpose is, what your ambitions, hopes, dreams are. This is about authentic goals. And we needed all of this energy stirring all these different levels, creating all this, it's not opposition, but it's just opposing different perspectives. And you're so deeply intelligent. You're like a little cute sponge, and you just go in there and you just suck it all up. And then you need some time to categorize what does all of it mean? And you know, but we're not in analysis paralysis, because you know why? Chiron and Pisces and the Scorpio energy, and we've had a Pisces moon all in here conjunct with Chiron. This is about breaking it down on an intuitive level and seeking strength from deep within in our souls. And it's about aligning the Sagittarian energy just poured into our soul. And the Scorpio energy and the sun is just feeding our soul's desires. This is about what do we desire. And then it's about going after that. Now, and that I want you to understand that you can be very impatient in an outcome. And if you are, to get a bit of a reality check on this new moon, it wants to keep you very, very realistic about your expectations. It can be you can get easily overwhelmed with all this positivity, and then it can feel much like training energy, where you take advantage of how good it all is, but you're not taking a look at the lessons or the perspective or the direction in it, because you're feeling good again. And so I just want you to know that for the most part, Mars is going to be sextiling Mercury in Sagittarius, and it's going to be in Libra. So this really is about heart, innermost desires, and it's a cumulative energy in those things. And if there is anything that's not aligned with that, if you're not being realistic about a relationship or about an endeavor or about how hard you've been working, the cumulative energy often can mean that it goes in there and it changes something that maybe sometimes we don't want it to change, but it needs to change in order for us to unlock the potential in this event. It's a gorgeous, look, we have a gorgeous new moon. We have a gorgeous full moon. We haven't had any of those. They've usually been aspected with a bunch of quincunxes. There's always been some fracking lesson associated with them. These lessons are positive, uplifting, restorative, like they're just deeply beautiful. And not only that, you're going to be highly intuitive during this. You're going to be receiving messages, and these messages are coming from deep within, so you can trust them better than they can from outside sources. Thank you guys so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner. I'm so happy I get to bring you guys good news. Have a wonderful November, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next month.